Today we're going to be installing a catalytic converter shield from Miller Cat Shield on the new Toyota Prius. Now this is good for the 23 and 24. They also have other versions. Now you might be wondering why you need this. Well, it's one of the biggest stolen items for cars these days. They crawl underneath, they hack off your catalytic converter, you're left with the mess, and then they go sell it somewhere. And by the way, it costs about $2,700 to go ahead and have that catalytic converter replaced. Now, you can get this if you're interested over at Miller Cat. It's 5% off with discount code ROBMOTIVE. Now, there's two different versions, aluminum and steel. or stainless steel. I've got the stainless steel version. The aluminum version's $150. The stainless steel is $200. A heck of a lot less than probably what your deductible is and what you're gonna pay if you don't have it covered under insurance to have it replaced, not to mention the hassle of it, right? Now, let's go ahead. I'll leave a link down below, by the way, if you want to check it out. Let's go ahead and unbox this real quick. I'll show you what's inside the box. I have not actually looked at it nor ever seen one myself, so I'm very interested to see exactly what it is. And before I forget, there is a part number. It's TOY-011. That is for the stainless steel version. Obviously a different part number for the aluminum version. Alright, let's see what we've got. Looks all nice and shiny inside so far. I love the packaging. It's well protected. Doesn't seem to be any issues with it. Of course, it comes with instructions, which you won't need because you're watching this video, right? And then all of the hardware as well. This is what the shield looks like. Such a simple little thing. It weighs about 9 pounds for anybody that's interested, so you're not going to be adding a whole bunch of extra weight to your Toyota Prius. That was a concern with me. It weighs like nothing, right? I mean, like nothing, 9 pounds. Anyway, this is what it looks like. Nice looking unit here. It's got the Miller Cat stamping on the bottom and then some sort of a part number, I guess. Nice finish. Of course, you're never going to see it, hopefully, because you're never going to have a reason to get under there and look with one of these babies on your car. So let's get the Prius up in the air and go ahead and get it installed. Underneath the car, there are some bolts that you need to remove. These two right up here, so you have this as a reference point, and then you have a bolt here and a bolt here. Both need to be removed. This nut, and that will allow you to pull these covers down a little bit so that you can access the screws that hold this bar on. You want to pull these down, and then you're going to remove these screws. There are 4 of them inside, and that's it. Then we're going to slide the cover sitting over there underneath this shield. Pretty easy. It just fits in right over the edges. And then we're going to reinstall new hardware on some of these points front to back. So that's just a brief outline of what I'm going to do. Now I'll set the camera down and show you what I'm going to do. All right, first off, these 2 bolts in the front, 14mm socket. And yes, I've already loosened them. And they come loose pretty easy. Really not too difficult at all. So I'm going to go ahead, pull those off. And the thing I really like about this kit, nothing it doesn't seem is going to drop. So you don't really have to have anything drop except for the bolts in the bar in the back that we're going to remove, but that's pretty simple. These do have, looks like purple Loctite on them, so we are going to use Loctite on these as well. Next up, we have to remove these 2 nuts. These 2 are 10mm, and this really is just to give us access to be able to slip that or the cover underneath. These are pretty loose as well. Nothing on here so far is really very tight. Next up, because these little 10mm bolts up front do not come all the way off, it doesn't seem, I'm just going to loosen this next pair right here, and they don't come all the way off either, but they will allow us to drop the cover just a little bit more so that we can fit a wrench. Yeah. So that we can fit a wrench right up here on these nuts, or bolts, nuts I guess, that we're going to need to remove. We'll see if that's enough room. Otherwise, I'm going to have to figure out how to take these completely off, I guess. I think we're okay so far. We'll see. All right, loosening the next set back. So here does definitely give me enough room to get up underneath there now. By the way, you can see the cable running through there, the high voltage cable. Don't mess with that, nor do you need to. It's way out of the way. So now, using a 12mm socket, I just need to take all of these out. There's 2 over here and 2 over there. Pretty simple to do. And then we'll be ready to place the cover, the shield, where we need it to be. Quick note, a little insert. I removed the wrong bar. I removed this one. If you noticed in the pictures, you're supposed to remove this one. Same procedure, just make sure you do the one up here in the front, not the one here in the back. All right, next up, you're supposed to replace these 2 bolts forward. You have not touched these yet, with the security bolts. The M10, the bigger one, and these have the security end in them. So we're going to go ahead one at a time and do these, and you're just supposed to hand tighten these, and I would put some Loctite on them as well. Again, it was provided with the kit. So we're going to go ahead and replace these real quick. Again, just hand tightening them down because that's what the direction says to do. And I would do one at a time, otherwise you might drop this panel, I'm not sure. So I'm not going to do more than one at a time. Get a little bit of Loctite on these. And this is the provided tool that came with the kit. Okay, next up, as promised, we're going to get the shield up in here. Up in here, up in here. And I probably should have gotten the Loctite ready before I started to do this, but I did not. So I'm gonna just loosely put a screw in, and then I'll put some Loctite on the other one just to kind of hold it. And then I'll take this one out and I'll put some Loctite on there. The cover up there should hold it in place while you're working, in theory. So far, so good. So don't forget, put the Loctite on your screws before you place the shield. Now, we're going to reuse 2 of the factory bolts over here, and then we're going to put 2 security bolts in the bottom of this as well. So, I got to go ahead and get some Loctite on everything. And then one thing I do want to note, the shield itself sits on top of the bar. So like that. It's going to go up just like that, and then the bar is going to sandwich it between the chassis and the bar, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and put that stuff on, and then we're just going to refasten the fasteners I undid. And that's it. That's the whole install. So let me get that up. Again, you're going to put a security bolt in the front here and here, and then a factory bolt here and here. Okay, have everything buttoned back up. Very easy mod if you have a way to get under it. Obviously, I have a lift in the garage, so I'm a little spoiled, I understand. Let's take a quick look at it. There it is, installed up underneath. I'm now protected from any devious thieves. You guys can see how it fits under there. Again, there is a discount code for it. It is ROBMOTIVE, and it's for 5% off. I'll leave a link down below if you want to check that out. Pretty simple to install. Love the looks of it. Too bad that you're never really going to see it because obviously it's underneath the car. By the way, one further note, this is the shield that if you pay to have one put on at Toyota, it's the same shield by Miller Cat. Leave a comment. Let me know if you've got one of these. Maybe you bought one when you got your Toyota, or you're thinking about putting one on. I'd just be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.